Hi guys, today I am going to show you how to sew tulle to the bottom of t-shirts so you can make them into little tutu dresses like this one. It's really easy and simple to do, and you can turn any t-shirt or shirt into a little tutu dress. Okay, the first thing you're going to do is take your shirt, whatever shirt you are going to be making. And what I normally do over here is I decide on where I'm going to have the tutu on the shirt. If it's a longer shirt, you may want to go further up, and then it just depends on where the shirt comes down to on the child as to where the tutu you want the tutu to start. So this is about where I want it, so the first thing I do is I iron. So that way it has a little bit of a mark there, so I know that my tutu will be sewn on straight. So you don't want it all crooked. Okay. Now I have a mark. I don't know if anyone can see that or not, but there is a bit of a line there. And that's where I'm going to sew my tutu. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is cut your tulle. I have this piece of cardboard that I roll my tulle around. It is 18 inches long, which will make a 9-inch tutu, but it'll actually be a little less because I'm going to sew part of it onto the shirt. So what I normally do is I just take my tulle and I roll it around one of my cardboard pieces. I get these off the bolts, and I just cut it the length that I want it. So this one is 18, and each one usually takes about 40 or more strands. It depends on the width of the shirt. So I'm going to cut at least 14 of each color, because I have 3 different colors. I'm doing it red, white, and navy, and that will be 42. That should be about 42 strands. So I'm going to see if that'll be enough. If not, I can always cut more, but that's what I'll start with. Okay, once you get all your tulle cut, you're going to take your shirt, and what I normally do, if you have one of these things, I usually take it off. That way the shirt can go around this way. And I start on a seam. I put my shirt under there, and I do it right on the crease that I have. And I do it on a regular stitch, a regular straight stitch. And I start with my first color, and I usually use double strands. I use 2 strands at one time. Now if you wanted to turn this into a ribbon tutu, you can do that as well. What you would do first is sew your ribbon to the end of your strands. I might do a video on that later. Okay, what you're going to want to do is you're going to get both your strands together. You're going to pull it in the middle, and the folded side is going to go towards the bottom or towards facing the machine, and you're going to sew it right across on your little crease that you made. So that way all this stuff is sticking out that way, if that makes any sense whatsoever. It's going to be pointing up towards the shirt. And you go ahead and back stitch, and go across, and then you stop when you get towards the end of that tulle bunch, and grab your next color, which mine is white, and again you fold it in the middle, and you take it and you just kind of push it up next to the red. You can kind of overlap it if you want. I mean, just a little, just to make sure there's no gap in between the tulles. And you sew across it, and then you stop, and you get your next color. You do this with every strand, or double strands. I always use double strands on everything, so. And then sew across it, and then you get your next one. And you sew across it, and you just keep going all the way around your shirt until you get all the tulle put on. And I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. Now, as you can see, I'm getting close to where I started, and if you are doing multiple colors, you want to make sure that your colors end the way they should. Like mine are going red, white, and blue, so I want to make sure I end on a blue. So what you need to do if you're doing multiple colors is you need to make sure you make them either fat enough or skinny enough, depending. So I think if I do it about that fat-ish, I should be able to fit a red, a white, and a blue. And in some cases, if you do run out of room, or if you don't, let's say you had a larger gap there, your last color, you could like even triple the color, like put 3 strands instead of 2, just to make it a little more thicker and wider to fill that gap, which I think I am, because I just want to make sure there's no spaces in the colors, because I don't want any gaps where you can see through the tutu. So I'm going to go ahead and put 3 strands together, so that way it will kind of overlap the white and the red. Okay, like that. Put this down. Then once I get back over here, I go ahead and I back stitch a couple times. That way I know it's not going to unravel. And that's it. And you should be done with your shirt tutu. Just trim these little threads off. Okay. Put this up. There it is. It is all on there. I'll put it on a mannequin and show you what it looks like.